In the beginning of the drama, we see our male lead Jian, who is playing a game called Metaverse of Love using advanced technology directly through his mind. He was playing the game with his friends and they reached near a mountain. When he used his power, a light source came out from the mountain. That light told all four of them that they were going to a place where the past and future connect with each other. After that, we see our female lead, who was enjoying the graphics of this game. From her conversation, we come to know that she is the designer of this game, and she even has her own studio called Linwa Studio. Just then, Jian arrives there through a portal along with his friends. Seeing them, Linwa says, "My time has finally come." She flies down to meet them, but right at that moment, her game starts to glitch. We then see that her mom wakes her up, which causes Linwa to get disconnected from the game. Her mom thought she was sick, so she started taking her to the hospital. But Linwa told her, "Mom, I was working." Her mom replied, "If you call sleeping working, then I want that kind of job too." Meanwhile, in the game, a magical voice tells Jian that the hidden boss is the avatar of wisdom. After hearing this, Jian tells the others to go find that hidden monster while he clears the stage. On the other hand, Linhua's mom had brought food for her. Linhua said she would eat later, but her mom said, "Am I not important to you?" Hearing this emotional line, Linhua had no choice but to sit down and eat. Meanwhile, in the game, Jian was moving forward by defeating everyone, and then his boss fight began. Both of them used their magical fighting skills and gave each other a very tough fight. Just then, we see a lady there who is pregnant. She says to herself, "I never had this kind of feeling before," whenever he went to fight. She was talking about that same general whom Jian was fighting. The moment Jian used his power, the general dodged to the side, and by mistake, that attack hit his wife. She fell down on the ground. Seeing this, the general panicked a lot and picked her up and tried to run away. But the bridge ahead was broken, so he sat right there, and his wife took her last breath in his arms. Seeing this, the general became very angry and decided that he would take revenge no matter what. Jian also came there with his teammates to catch that general, but the general jumped off the bridge. Before anyone could do anything, they all got frozen in the middle. This was actually a bug in the game, and because of it, they all got kicked out. On the other side, when Linwa found out about this bug, she immediately started fixing it. But in the process, water spilled on her system, and because of the electric shock, she fainted right there. Seeing this, her employees quickly called an ambulance. But when everyone's attention was on Linwa, we see a mysterious person there who had covered himself completely. He ran away from there. And after everyone left, we see that changes started happening automatically in Linhua's system. The general had disappeared from the game. Meanwhile, Jian received a call from his brother, who told him that because of the bug that happened in the game today, the board of directors wants to meet him. He told Jian that their dad was not feeling well, so he would stay at the hospital. After this, Jian left for the meeting on his bike. Now we come to know that Jian is part of the Jianna group, which is going to invest in this game. On the way, everywhere there was news and interviews about this game, because this game is so advanced that players just have to close their eyes, and they will enter a whole different world. As soon as Jian reaches the office, his assistant tells him the full schedule and updates him on the reviews. Jian tells him, "I want to meet Linwa once the meeting is over." Hearing this, the assistant got worried because her phone was not reachable at all. Now we see Linwa, who woke up in the hospital and got up from the bed like a warrior. She had no idea where she was, and she was speaking in a very strange voice. It looked like maybe all that gaming had affected her mind. She came out of her room and started looking at everything around her in a very strange way, as if she had never seen these things before in her life. Just then, an old man on a wheelchair came in front of her. Looking at him, she said, "Can I take this from you? I need to find my wife." But that old man refused. When Linwa couldn't understand, she offered him her treasure in exchange for the wheelchair. But when he still didn't agree, Linwa stretched out her hand and tried to summon her weapons using magic, but nothing happened. She kept doing it again and again, and the uncle was actually enjoying the show. Linwa said, "I must have lost my powers after that fight." And that's when we understand what actually happened. The warrior from Linhua's system had disappeared and had entered her memory. The chances of this happening must have increased when water fell on the system, and the short circuit caused Linhua to faint. Now that old man, seeing this girl's dedication to finding her wife, gifted her the wheelchair with a royal announcement. She got very happy and was just about to sit on it, but then nurses arrived. Seeing them, The old man quickly sat back in the wheelchair himself, and we realized that he is a mental patient, because any normal person who saw Linhua's behavior would have gotten her admitted to the psychiatric ward instead. Next, we see Jian in his board meeting, where they were planning to stop investment in the game. Because of this bug, their reputation was at risk, and they couldn't afford future losses. Jian said, "It was just a minor bug during testing, and I and Linwa will fix it together." But Mr. Chen said, "She calls herself the goddess of games, but she doesn't even deserve that title." Jian replied, "Are you doubting my choice? And besides, I have veto power, which means only I can make the decision to stop this project." Hearing this, Mr. Chin became very upset. He signaled his supporters sitting next to him. After that, the members said, "We fully trust Jian that he will not harm our retirement fund." Jian said, "If we can't release this game on the launch date, all the responsibility will be mine, and I will compensate for all your losses." On this, Mr. Chen said, "If that happens, you will also have to resign from the CEO position." And without even thinking, he said yes. In the next scene, the scene is shifting here. When she went to use the washroom, she got shocked. She looked in the mirror and couldn't recognize that it was herself. That's when the general's memory inside her finally understood that he has become a girl. Now she had gone into the ladies' washroom, so from outside, people called the nurse to get her out. The nurse held her and took her to the room and told her to rest. But the general had no idea what was happening. How did he become a girl, and why were these women holding him? For now, he had no other option but to follow them. But after they left, he stood up again because he was worried in this girl's body. Could he protect his wife or not? Just then, he saw Jian, who had actually come to see his dad at the hospital. But the general recognized him immediately, that this is the same person who killed his wife. He went after him angrily and stopped him. But Jian asked, "Do we know each other?" The general told him to stop pretending. Then Jian remembered something. We go back to a flashback. One day when it was raining, Jian was talking on the phone, telling someone that he was going to meet Lena to get the contract signed. But just then, Linwa came running past him and ruined his pants. When he stopped her, Linwa said, "Today is a very important day for me, and I was in a hurry." She apologized and gave him some money, but Jian was shocked looking at it, so Linwa gave him a little more money and said, "Keep the change too," which made him even more surprised. Back in the present, Jian asks Linwa, "What exactly do you want?" And Linwa started talking about taking revenge for her wife's death. She tried to use her magic powers, but nothing happened. Jian thought, this girl's mind is not right. He started to leave, but seeing this, Linwa jumped and climbed on his back to stop him, saying, "I won't let you go without taking my revenge." The general was feeling very weak in this body, so he bit Jian on the ear. Jian threw her down, and Linwa came back to her senses. She looked at Jian and started apologizing, but he started calling the police. Seeing this, Linwa grabbed his phone, and in the process of taking it, she got very close to him. She said, "I didn't bite your ear on purpose. If you want, you can bite my ear too in return." But he took his phone back and told her to go get her mind treated. She said yes and ran to her room. She had no idea what she had just done. In the next scene, we shift to the hospital, where we see Dr. Zong. He was going somewhere when a girl in a bridal dress came running towards him from behind. Zong got lost in his own world seeing her, but she crossed right past him, shattering all his dreams. But then he saw that the girl was about to crash into a cleaning machine, so he grabbed her. In the process, he got very close to her and her lipstick mark was left on his coat. The girl explained, "My best friend is admitted here, so I came running in a hurry." She apologized to him and left. Zong just smiled and kept watching her go. Now we see that the friend she was talking about was Linwa, and this girl's name is Ning. The moment she saw Linwa, she hugged her. Seeing Ning in a wedding dress, Linwa asked, "Did you get married?" But Ning said, "It's not that easy. I was doing a wedding dress broadcast. When I heard about you, I came running here." Now when Ning saw that the dress was damaged, she got worried because she had to return it. She quickly went to clean it. But just then, the general took over Linhua's mind again, and she fainted and fell on the bed. When Linhua came back to her senses, the general had control over her mind. He had no idea how he got back to this room. Meanwhile, Ning came out from inside with the clean dress. Seeing her in the wedding dress, the general hugged her, thinking she was his wife. He told her, "I thought you had died." Hearing such words, Ning thought she was doing some cosplay for the game. When Ning asked for the character's name, he said, January. But then the general told her his real name Tian, and looking at her belly, asked, "Where is your baby?" Seeing such good acting from her, Ning played along and said, "Darling, I've been waiting for you for so long. I have some more work to do, so wait here for me." Just then her phone rang, and hearing the sound, the general threw it away, because to him, that phone looked like some kind of monster. He told Ning, "Don't worry, I will protect you and our child." But these weird words were crossing the limit now, so Ning got angry and left. Next, we see Jian arriving at Lena's company. One of his friends was also there. He wanted to meet the mastermind of this game. Inside, when everyone found out that Jian had arrived, they started hiding everything related to Linwa. And the real reason why they hide Linhua's identity from Jian, we will find out later. They show Jian their boss Linwa. Just then, Jian came inside and asked the employee, "When will the game be fixed?" They had no answer. Then they noticed that the general had disappeared from the game. They said, "There must be some glitch. Until the boss comes back, we can't give you the detail." Hearing this, he was surprised that Lena was not in the company. But Jian didn't care about that, he only wanted a solution. He gave a warning about the game launch date and left. The next day, we see the general outside Jian's group's building, which means he had come there for revenge. Seeing others do it, the general also tried to enter using a fingerprint, but the door didn't open. Then he saw a parking signboard and thought there was a secret tunnel there. When he went there, he saw many cars and thought they were some kind of monster. When some maintenance workers came, he hid. After they left, the general picked up a rod, and we understood his plan very well. Meanwhile, we see Jian coming out of the office and heading toward the basement in the lift. The general spotted him there and called out to him from behind. When Jian turned around, the general attacked him, but Jian saved himself, fought back, and even filed a police complaint. Then the general punched him hard and Jian fell unconscious. The general then started strangling him to finish him off, but suddenly something strange happened to him, and he fell unconscious right on top of Jian. Next, we see Linwa at the police station. When the police showed her the CCTV footage, Linwa clearly denied it. "That can't be me. I don't even know how to fight." She tried to explain, "I was in the hospital. How I got there, I don't know." On the other hand, Jian told the police, "This girl had already met me once in the hospital before." Linwa was busy proving her innocence, while Jian wanted her punished very strictly. After this, we see that the police had put her in jail. She remembered that when she came back to her senses, she had called an ambulance for Jian. "If I didn't want to hurt him, why would I call an ambulance?" On the other hand, when Jian was shown the dashcam footage from his car, it was clearly visible that Linwa was the one who had called the ambulance. In jail, when her cellmates asked her, "How did you end up here?" she said, "On charges of attempted murder." Hearing this, both ladies broke into a cold sweat. After this, we see that the Lena whom Jian went to meet was actually Ning. When Jian asked her technical questions about the game's glitch, she couldn't answer them, so he understood. "This is not Lena." His brother asked, "Have you met Linwa before?" He said no, because Linwa has social anxiety, so they only talked online. And the way she used to talk professionally, she would have already fixed this bug by now. Just then, Jian's assistant noticed a photo of Linwa with her there. After seeing it, Jian figured out the whole game. The girl who had been creating trouble for him again and again was the mastermind of this game, Linwa. We see the flashback of that day, when Linwa had given him money for his clothes and then rushed toward her company because a big investor was coming for her game. But her heart sank when she realized that the investor was the same person she had just given the money to. She panicked, scared that the investment would slip away, and she hid Ning as Linwa, while she herself hid under the table. Next, we see Jian lying to the police, telling them that Linwa is his girlfriend, so that he could get her out, because he needed the project to launch on time no matter what. Otherwise, he would lose his CEO position. But after hearing the girlfriend story, the police refused to release Linwa because she had committed a criminal act. But Jian said her mind is not right, so she keeps imagining things. "I have to stay with her to get her treated quickly." Hearing this, the police believed him this time and gave permission for Jian to take Linwa away. As soon as Jian went near her cell, the general was shocked to see him alive because he thought he had killed him. He moved toward him saying, "I will tear you into tiny pieces." Hearing such words, the police asked Jian, "Do you really want to take her?" He had no other choice but to say yes. Jian then told Linwa, "If you want to get out of here, cooperate with me." But the moment they stepped outside, the general attacked Jian. In the next scene, Jian left with his brother and said, I never thought a girl like her would turn out to be mentally unstable. But his brother was worried, what if the bug doesn't get fixed on time? But Jian was fully confident that it would be fixed. After reaching the company, Jian started reading about multiple personality disorder. After this, we see Linwa, who is sleeping at home. She woke up and the general still had control over her body. He picked up the guard's stick, meaning he was determined to take his revenge from Jian. While searching for him inside the building, he saw what he thought was Jian's kingdom drawn on the wall. So he thought Jian had planned very carefully to attack him, and his anger grew even more. Meanwhile, Jian was sitting and thinking about Linwa when she came behind him holding a stick. The general said, there's no one here now, so this will be an equal fight. Seeing this, Jian lost his patience and told her to leave. The general thought he got scared seeing the weapon, so he threw it away and said, you can hit me 3 times first so that later you can't say Tian bullied you. Now hearing the name Tian, Jian started thinking, maybe she was imagining herself as a character from the game? Then Jian remembered, when he was reading about split personality, it was suggested that to treat the victim, physical torture should be used. So he lied to Linwa, saying someone was coming from behind. When the general turned around, Jian picked up the stick and hit Linwa hard. But nothing happened to her. Seeing him use such trick, the general chased after him to beat him. Jian had already understood that physical torture was useless, so he started moving toward Linwa. The general had no idea what was happening and threw documents in the air to stop him. But then, Jian kissed her, and just like that, the general's personality disappeared. Linwa came back to her senses. She saw Jian kissing her and pushed him away. Jian now understood. The treatment is hormonal stimulation. Linwa asked, what were you doing? He said, I was saving myself. Linwa had no idea what was going on or how she even got there. She asked Jian about everything, but he told her nothing. Linwa was very confused, so she asked him to forget all of this and even invited him to dinner. But he said nothing, so she started blaming herself, and in the middle of all this, she bumped into him. When Jian turned and stared at her, she got nervous. On the way, when the car stopped at a signal, Jian noticed that Linwa had fallen asleep, but right then the general took over again. When he found himself tied up in the car, he attacked Jian. But now Jian had figured out the trick. He grabbed Linwa's hand first to stop her from hitting him, and was about to kiss her, but the general disappeared before that. This surprised Jian, that after Linwa falls asleep, the other personality comes out. And this time he didn't even need to kiss her. Just holding her hand had done the job. The next day, when Linwa woke up, she found Jian holding her hand. She was very surprised and started worrying. Did she do something embarrassing in her sleep? Jian told her, there's a company meeting today, and you have to come. After that, I need to discuss something with you. Until then, you can't sleep. Hearing this, she said to herself, what I heard was right. This man is completely merciless. A little later, when meeting time came, Linwa went to Jian's company to meet him and his board of directors. He introduced Linwa to everyone. There was also another game designer from a different company present there. The board of directors started pressuring Linwa that they needed to launch the game on the fixed date. They wanted profit from every single penny invested, and if she couldn't do it, they would give the project to the other designer. Jian spoke on Linwa's behalf, saying they would fix the bug in 2 weeks. After that, Linwa explained her full plan to everyone about how they would do it. After the meeting, Jian went with Linwa to her company to fix the bug, but no matter how many times they tried, it kept showing error. Then Linwa remembered she had left the hard drive at home, so Jian told her, you stay here, I'll go get it. Right at that moment, Jian's assistant came in with food, but seeing those two so close together, he thought something else was going on, so he left. Jian went after him and said, I'm going to get the hard drive. Until then, keep an eye on Linwa or you'll lose your job. Jian now reached Linwa's house and started looking for the hard drive. Linwa was guiding him over a call, but she couldn't remember exactly where she had kept it. While searching, Jian was carefully looking at her photos and other things. Then he found the hard drive and immediately cut the call. As he was about to leave, an idea came to him. Next, we see that Jian had called Linwa to his house through his assistant. She was amazed seeing such a huge mansion. When she met him inside, Jian reminded her of the promise she made in the board meeting. So until the task was complete, Linwa had to stay there. She was shocked. What was he saying? She said, I can't work here. My system and files are at home. But we see that he had already gotten all her room stuff and system moved there. Seeing her belongings moved without her permission, she said, I sold you the game, not myself. You can't do this. Jian then told her, whenever you regain your senses, you are on top of me. He showed her the footage of her split personality, which takes over her body after she falls asleep, and said only he could bring her back to normal. After knowing all this, Linwa agreed to stay, and Jian told her to start working quickly. She shouted, "It's off time. Who works at this hour?" But he reminded her of the deadline, so she worked late into the night. It was getting very late, so Jian needed to sleep and told Linwa to come sleep too. At first, she refused, saying she had more work, but when he told her, "If you stay awake, I won't be able to sleep either, and if you accidentally fall asleep, the general will come back and come after me," she shut down her system and went to sleep. But she was surprised to see only one bed. She said, "I'll sleep on the couch." He said, "Then I'll have to sleep there too, holding your hand." Hearing that, she immediately agreed to sleep on the bed. Jian placed a pillow between them. Both of them were very nervous. He asked, "Are you really just going to sleep like that?" She asked in surprise, "Then what do you suggest?" He wanted to hold her hand to stop the split personality. Both of them, nervously, held each other's hand. The next day, Jian's brother called asking why he hadn't come to the meeting. In all this chaos, he had completely forgotten about it, which surprised his brother since this was the first time Jian had done something like that. He told him to come quickly. Jian told Linwa, "Instead of sleeping, work on the game. And until I come back, you cannot sleep." Hearing this, she said, "You have every quality of a boss." As he was leaving, he reminded her of the deadline again. After he left, she yelled, "You think of me as a data entry girl? I'll give you a labor role in the game." Meanwhile, when Jian reached the meeting place, his brother told him, "Miss Jin has specially come from Australia to invest in our game, so treat her well." Jian gave Miss Jin a gift, which impressed her. Then they all started their meeting. On the other side, Linwa was looking at Jian's school photos and started mimicking him. Just then Ning called her and asked her to go out and relax her mind. But she refused because she had to fix the bug within the deadline. Ning said, "You need to go out and freshen up your mind." Linwa was scared Jian would come back, but Ning didn't listen to a word and sent her the location. Meanwhile, Jian was explaining the game to Miss Chen. She already knew about the game's problem. He told her, "The famous Linwa is working on this game, and she will fix this bug quickly." Outside a restaurant, we see Linwa, which means Ning had sent her to the same location where Jian's meeting was happening. While Jian was still talking, he spotted Linwa at the table right in front of him. His heart sank. What was she doing here? Jian was busy looking for Linwa, but she was nowhere to be seen. The moment Linwa came out of the washroom, she saw General Tian right in front of her. Both of them were shocked to see each other. The general was very happy, thinking he had finally come out of the girl's body. Linwa started questioning him. What exactly happened during that combat in the game? He tells Linwa, "I was just looking for the right chance to kill that enemy." Linwa was drinking a lot with Ning, and then they both went to dance together. But the general's personality had gone outside, and it was Linwa who was dancing, and Jian was watching her dance very carefully. Young was nervous and tense, worried that their investors might find out she was the game developer. Just then, a boy tried to dance with her inappropriately. Seeing this, the general's soul inside Linhua's body got triggered. Seeing someone disrespect his wife, he got very angry and started hitting the boy. To stop him, Zhang, Jian, and Young all rushed over. The moment Jian touched her, Linwa fainted. He then picked her up and took her back home. In the car, Linwa was sleeping with her head on his shoulder. Jian moved her away, but then she woke up and, because of the alcohol, she started venting all her feelings on him. She said crying, "Why is everyone treating me like this? I'm trying my best to fix the game." Then Jian's driver said, "Sir, in situations like this, you should hug her." He was just about to hug her, but Linwa herself leaned her head on him and fell asleep again. After reaching home, Jian carried Linwa to the bedroom, took off her shoes, and put her to sleep. Just then, the helper came in. Jian asked her to get some clothes for Linwa for tomorrow. Now since he had let go of her hand, the general entered Linhua's body again. Seeing this, Jian quickly grabbed her. The moment Linwa came back to her senses, she saw Jian so close and grabbed his face, saying, "How dare you come into my dreams and scare me?" But then she asked, "Even if you're rude, merciless, and bad, you do look really handsome. I'll turn you and your brother into NPC characters in my game." Jian asked, "Who looks more handsome, me or my brother?" Linwa took Young's name, but when he asked again, she said, "You both look good." But before she could say anything more, she fell asleep again. Wanting to know her answer, he shook her awake, and Linwa said, "Out of both of you, the most beautiful is me. Hearing this, Jian got very stressed and thought, maybe I should also have a drink, so at least I don't have to deal with this torture. The next morning, when Linwa opened her eyes, she screamed seeing Jian right in front of her. She had no idea how she ended up there. She asked him, "You didn't try to take advantage of me, did you?" He said, "Look at your own condition and think about whether anyone would have taken advantage." She asked, meaning nothing happened between us? To which he, trying to tease her, asked, "Why do you seem disappointed?" She got angry and started to leave. After getting ready, when both of them went downstairs, Young was surprised to see her there. Linwa told him, "I've been kept here by force." Jian said, "She's not doing her work properly, so I brought her here to keep an eye on her." Linwa was working late again that night. Then Jian came in with a box and said, "I have a meeting early tomorrow morning, so we need to sleep soon." When she told him to go sleep, Jian asked, "Will you let me sleep peacefully?" And then said, "Inside this box is a nightdress for you." He said that and left. Hearing this, she started imagining there must be some nice dress inside. When she wears it and goes to him, he'll just keep staring at her. She said to herself, "Whatever you give me to wear, I'll wear it." With all that excitement, she opened the box and was shocked. Inside was not a nice dress, but a monster-themed nightdress. Seeing it, she called him merciless in anger. But later, we see her wearing that same new dress. When Jian called her outside, he sprayed something on her, which shocked her. He said, "It's just for sanitization." Linwa then asked, "Why aren't you wearing your pajamas? After giving me a dress to wear, do you have some other intention?" Jian said, "I heard right about you. Your imagination is way too wild." Linwa asked, "By making me wear a nightdress, are you making fun of me?" But he said, "Last night you tortured me a lot. This is your punishment. And as your host, I have the right to punish you." Now we flash back to the previous night, where in her sleep, Linwa was kicking Jian again, and in between also pulling his clothes. Because of this, the poor guy couldn't sleep at all. After telling her all this, he asked, "Why do you have to pull someone's clothes while you're sleeping?" She explained, "I'm not used to sleeping here, and maybe in a feeling of insecurity, she did all that in her sleep." He asked, "And what kind of security were you getting from karate?" But Jian had made a complete plan this time, so his sleep wouldn't be disturbed. We see that he had tied Linwa to a separate bed and placed a border all around her, so that she couldn't escape as the general in her sleep. As she was about to sleep, Jian asked for the work report, but she turned her face and started sleeping. So Jian asked her to give him her hand. The moment Linwa held his hand, he looked very happy. So far, everything was going fine, but in the morning, Linwa needed to use the washroom and she was tied up. So she woke Jian up. He unlocked her and she ran straight to the washroom. Both of them then went to the company and started working on fixing the game. But then they discovered that someone had intentionally planted a virus in the game. To fix it, they had only two options. Either let it continue as it was, or reset the entire system, which would destroy 4 years of their hard work. Just then Young said, "There must be some solution to this problem." He said, "I have a friend who is an expert in all this. He can definitely help." Hearing this, Jian said, "Are you talking about David?" And we also find out here that Jian doesn't like him. They have had a very old fight from the time they used to study together. He told Young, "You go get the work done from him. Until then, I'll stay with Dad." Linwa gave Young all the copy, and all three of them left. Outside, Jian told Linwa, "While I'm not around, don't try to sleep." She said, "Until the virus is gone, I won't sleep." But she added, "When I'm not here, you'll probably sleep really well tonight." But he said, "Come back as soon as you can." Near the car, Linwa took a photo of Young so she could turn him into an NPC character in the game. Young said, "Just let me know the time. We'll do a proper photo shoot." She was very happy hearing that. But right then, Jian from behind criticized her photography skills, which upset her. She left Jian right there and both she and Young went to meet David. When they arrived, David said, "This is not such a big problem. Fixing it will take him only 2 to 3 days. But the problem was that the concept launch event of the game was just 2 days away. So Young told David and Linwa to fix it quickly. He said, "This is not the final launch, so they still had a little time." On the other side, Zhang then asked Jian, "Can you find out about Linhua's best friend for me?" From his interest in Ning, it was very clear that he had started liking her a lot. Jian also understood this and agreed to help him. Meanwhile, David had already found the problem and started fixing it. Now it would be solved one day before the launch date. When Young found out, he praised both David and Linwa a lot. Just then Linwa got hungry, so everyone made plans to eat. But David refused to come along because he had some other work to finish. At night, Jian was getting very worried about Linwa being late. He started to call her but then stopped because he was scared Linwa might think he liked her, and that's why he was worried. But many thoughts started coming to his mind. What if she had transformed into the general's identity again? Or maybe she didn't want to come back because the bed was uncomfortable. He even tried sleeping on her bed himself and found it really uncomfortable. The next day, we see Linwa coming back to Jian's house after working all night. The caretaker told her that Jian had already left for the company by that time. But then Jian appeared from behind and scolded her. "You should have informed me. You're working all night like this. Are you planning to become disabled after fixing the bug? Or did you plan to come to my house, transform into the general, and attack everyone?" Because of this fear, we see that Jian worked from home and had Linwa sitting next to him while holding her hand, so the poor girl couldn't even sleep properly. He said, "If you can't sleep, you can tell me your work progress." Hearing that, she decided sleeping was better and closed her eyes. Seeing this, he smiled. On the other side, we see Young with the other board members, who told him, once the launch is successful, it will be very hard to remove him from the CEO position. They said this on purpose to involve Young in removing Jian. But Young replied, "Isn't that a good thing? If the launch is successful, what's the problem?" They started praising him. "We have no problem, but someone as capable as you always has to work under him." Young replied, "You don't need to worry about that. Jian is my brother, and I will always support him." The scene now shifts to Jian, where we see he had worn a white sports outfit just like his brother, thinking Linwa would take his photo too. But she was shocked seeing him in this outfit because he had to go to a press meet. As she was about to get into the car, he stopped her and asked, "Are you going to sit like that? Didn't you bring your phone?" She answered him, and even after all those hints, when she still didn't take his photo, he closed the car door and went to the driver's side and asked someone to open the door for him. She thought his behavior was very strange, but who would argue with him? So she opened the door for him. Just as she was about to sit in the car after telling him off, he moved the car forward. She tried again, but he kept doing the same thing. Seeing this, she puffed her cheeks and stopped trying, saying, "If you want to act like a child, I'm not going." So he started honking the horn, which brought the caretakers out of the house. Seeing them, Linwa had no choice but to go with him. But even on the way, he didn't stop bothering her. He was deliberately hitting the brake. Linwa was scolding him again when she got a call from her employees, who told her, "On the day we were testing the game and you got the electric shock, a mysterious person had entered the company. He must be the one who messed with our game." He had also deleted the CCTV footage, but somehow one video was still saved. When Linwa downloaded and checked that video, the man in it looked very familiar to her. After this, we see Young, who personally selected a dress for Linwa for the press meet. Just then Linwa and Jian arrived there. Young asked Jian to go to the launch first, so he could prepare Linwa in the meantime. Then we see a beautiful lady who is getting ready. A guard came and gave her a file. She asked him, "When is the press conference?" He told her the time, and she quickly went inside because there wasn't much time left. On the other side, Uncle Hao found out from Chen that the young lady had arrived. He started going to meet her, but Chen stopped him, saying now is not the right time. If Jian finds out, he will get rid of us. Chen was thinking, had the young lady come just for her press conference or to get engaged to Jian? Uncle Hao was very confused about who she was going to choose as her partner, Jian or Young. He told Chen to go meet the young lady, but Chen refused and said, "I need to stay at the company." Uncle Hao asked, "Have you planned something special for the young lady?" On the other side, when Jian went to Linwa, he kept staring at her in that dress. But Linwa was having a lot of trouble with the heels, and the dress was uncomfortable for her too. So Jian asked the dresser to give her a normal dress. But the dresser said, she is going to be the focus of the event, so she needs to look good. Besides, Young had selected this dress. When Linwa found out it was Young who picked it, she agreed to wear it, which didn't make Jian look happy at all. Just then Linhua's employee came there and kept staring at her in the dress. He gave Linhua a pen drive. It had the footage of the mysterious man who had sneaked into their office. The other pen drive had some data that Linhua had asked him to prepare. After giving the pen drive, he also took a photo of Linhua because she looked like a goddess. After he left, Linhua gave the mysterious person's pen drive to Jian. He said, "My brother will handle this matter." When they both went to the launch, Young thought Linhua looked amazing in that dress. Linwa said, "Your taste is great. It's just that the heels and dress are a little big for me." He apologized, saying he hadn't thought about that. But Jian pulled Linwa away and told Young her feet are small. "How is that your fault?" Jian then gave Young the mysterious person's pen drive and said, "You'll have to find out about this." Linwa also told him that the quality of the footage was not fully restored, so there might be some issues. Young said, I'll hand it over to the tech department. Linwa told him, it's the only copy, so keep it safe. Just then the host fainted on the stage. The scene now shifted to Jin, who told Uncle how the press conference time is near. Is everything going according to plan? He smiled and answered yes. From his words, we understood that both of them had made a very bad plan for Jian. Meanwhile, at the press event, everyone panicked because the host had fainted. Who would host the show now? The replacement host would take time to arrive, so Jian asked Young to host the show. Linwa said, we should call a professional for this. But Jian told her, Young has won the MC Cup 3 times. Young agreed, but memorizing such a big script was difficult for him. Linwa said, I have a plan. She started tying her hair, and Jian kept watching her. She had brought a high-tech lens hidden in her dress, kept for herself so she could write her speech and upload it, using it without anyone knowing when the time came. But right now, the host's script was more important, so she uploaded it into the lens. Seeing this plan, Jian was very impressed and teased her. By selling cheating gadgets like this, you can earn more than from game. After the script was uploaded, Linwa gave those lenses to Young, who put them on immediately. As soon as the event started, Young hosted the show perfectly with the help of those lenses. Meanwhile, when Jian saw Linwa among the reporters, he pulled the pen from her hair. Linwa thanked him. He said, who cares about you? I was saving my own image. Young then called Jian on stage, and all the girls started screaming. And there we also saw Yao. Young then showed everyone the game's concept video, which everyone loved a lot. He then called the game's mastermind Linwa to the stage. She was a little nervous. Seeing her blue dress, Yao told her guard, cancel today's return ticket to the US. But the guard said it won't be right to cancel master's order just like that. But she said by then it will be too late. The reporters then started asking Linwa questions one by one about the game, where she got the inspiration. Linwa told them her past story. When she was little, her parents used to fight a lot. Scared, she would cover her ears and sit under the table. Her brother would always come to help her, and she always felt very good with him. Sometime later, when her brother got good marks and bought a second-hand laptop for himself, it was like a whole new world for both of them. She said, my brother was very good at playing games, but sometime later he stopped playing because the company whose game he was champion of went bankrupt, and all his records were lost forever in the data. So the inspiration to make this game came from my brother. On this, a reporter raised a question. Did you use the data from that old bankrupt game for your game? If so, this is like stealing someone else's idea. Linwa explained it clearly. There was nothing like that. But that reporter refused to let anyone believe her and told everyone, my sources have told me that their game has a bug, which is why the game is still frozen. Hearing this, all the reporters were shocked. Jian stood by Linwa and said, as an investor, I fully trust that she will fix this game. Linwa thanked him for this trust, but that reporter seemed to have a personal grudge. In anger, he took off his shoe and threw it toward Linwa, and Jian covered her and saved her. Seeing this, Yao was very impressed. Jian then met the other reporters privately. They asked him, how is your cooperation with Linwa going? He answered inside his mind, she is very special. So special that after sleeping, she becomes the general, and only I can bring her back to normal. Today, I also noticed how beautiful she looked. From his thoughts, we could understand he had started liking her. Then we see Yao, who was heading toward the launch to meet Jian, but Jian walked right past her, so she hid. He went back to Linwa and Young. Just then, when Linwa started going to the washroom, Jian asked, where are you going? Linwa very formally asked him, if the host of the party gives permission, I would like to use the washroom. Hearing this, he said, I'll have to keep an eye on you. What if you fall because of these heels and break your hand? My game will get delayed. Hearing this, Linwa quickly ran away from there. After that, Young got a call from someone. After talking, he ran outside, and we see that the call was from Yao. When he called her back, she ran toward him and hugged him. Now we see both of them in a car. Young asked her, why did you come back to me? What's going on in your mind? She said, it's not like we're meeting for the first time. On the other side, Linwa had no idea where Young had gone in such a hurry without telling anyone. Then she saw that Jian opened the car door for her. She thanked him, but he said, next time, walk faster than me and open the door yourself. She replied, if you ever make fun of my small feet again, I'll get angry and stop working. Then in the car, he told her, today I want to treat you. But she refused and wanted to treat him herself. He said, you won't pay. Linwa said, it's my treat, so the place will also be my choice. She then took him to a local restaurant for street food. Looking at Jian there, it was clear he had come to such a place for the very first time. On the other side, Young went with Yao to a very expensive restaurant. There Young told her, I have always treated you like a sister. But she said, I don't want to be your sister. I want to be your girlfriend. From this, it was clear she had been after him for a long time, but he kept saying no every time. Meanwhile, Linwa and Jian had to wait a little, then got a table. Jian was feeling very uncomfortable there because the place was not clean. He told Linwa, "The service here is so bad. No one has served us yet." So Linwa served him herself. When he asked for more, Linwa said, "I'm not your waitress." He replied, "Well, there's no waitress here, so you'll have to do it." On the other side, Ya had ordered octopus for Young, and seeing it he said, "Even after so many years, your taste hasn't changed at all." He still remembered that when the three of them had first seen this dish, Jian had cried, and Young had to calm him down. But on the other side, we see that Linwa had also ordered octopus. Seeing this, Jian looked very uncomfortable. He made the excuse that he had eaten too much at lunch. Linwa thought he didn't like it, but he lied, "No, I love this." When Linwa started forcing him, he made the excuse of going to the restroom and stepped outside. He then called his assistant, who told him, "If you want to avoid eating it, you can pretend to be drunk." When Jian came back, he saw that Linwa had finished everything, which made him happy. But she had ordered more plates, and he would have to eat them alone. When the order came, he drank a lot. Linwa was very confused. What had suddenly happened to him? Then when he picked up the chopsticks to eat, he started pretending he was out of control. Just then Jian's phone rang, but he couldn't pick it up. So Linwa picked it up, and on the other side, his assistant said, "I've got an idea so you don't have to eat the octopus." Hearing this, she was shocked. Jian doesn't like this dish. When the assistant realized Linwa was with him, he turned to her for help instead, saying, "Someone is forcing Jian to eat octopus. Please help him." Linwa now understood the whole game, and Jian knew he had been caught, but he kept up his act. Seeing this, Linwa picked up the octopus and brought it right to him, saying, "I think we should leave now." When he opened his eyes and saw the octopus in front of him, he screamed so loudly that Linwa nearly fell, but he caught her. Both of them stared at each other. Then Linwa asked, "Weren't you drunk?" So he started his act again. Seeing this, she said, "I've heard that you're scared of octopus." He denied it. Then Linwa went to get the bill. After coming out, Linwa started teasing him. The CEO of the group is scared of octopus. He still wasn't ready to accept it. So she shouted, "Eat the octopus." He tried to change the subject, saying the cook at home makes better food. But Linwa kept chasing him to scare him. Now we see Jian, who was restless until Linwa came back to the room. She came in quietly and sat on the bed. Her behavior seemed very strange to Jian, but he said, "I've always behaved like this." She ignored it and went to get chained. When she came out, she noticed that the barriers on her bed were gone. Jian had removed them for her comfort. She said, "You're the one who gave me such a small bed in the first place." Jian said, "I'll get it exchanged tomorrow." Hearing this, she also started getting confused. The way he was treating her today, she thought he wanted something from her. He said, "Not at all. As your client, I just want you to be healthy and work well." So Linwa then put a bracelet on him. She had brought a similar one for herself too. Seeing this, Jian thought, "Is this a couple bracelet?" But Linwa explained, "I made this bracelet. If I ever need it, your bracelet will get connected after it locks, and when I wake up, it will unlock again." Jian thought, "Is she trying to get rid of me?" Linwa said, "I've set a code, so you can unlock it yourself whenever you need." He really liked this bracelet. At night, as soon as Linwa fell asleep, her bracelet connected to Jian's, which told him she was asleep. He looked at her and said, "I wish I had met you earlier, and from now on, I will always protect you." On the other side, we see Young checking the CCTV footage recording. Seeing it, he was shocked, and from his expression, it was very clear that he recognized that mysterious person. So knowing that there was no backup of this video, he deleted it anyway. The next day, Linwa was going to her company for a meeting, but Jian also came along saying, "I need to take care of my contract employee. I told you I have no knowledge, so I want to learn from you." After this, both of them got on a bus, but Jian was not used to buses. Suddenly the brakes hit hard, and he lost his balance. To stop himself from falling, he grabbed Linwa's hand. She said, "Were you about to make me fall too?" She then showed him how to stand properly on the bus. He was enjoying it, but got shocked when he found out they'd have to stand like that for half an hour. After getting off the bus, Linwa had to run to match Jian's speed because she was quite short. On the other side, we see Young going with Jian to meet David. Young asked him about the virus, who could have planted it in the system. David said it was made very cleverly. It would be very hard to find out who did it. So Young, suspecting David himself, asked, "Did that person create the virus to destroy the system?" "I saw him on CCTV footage. He has been caught." Hearing this, David asked, "Did you try to betray me in exchange for our friendship?" We then found out This was a plan by David and Yao so that Young could get what was rightfully his. Because despite all the hard work behind the game being his, Jian was getting the credit. I fixed the virus so that the credit of solving it would go to you. But Young said, Jian is my brother, and I will always protect him. Both of them kept pressuring him to betray Jian, but he clearly refused and walked away. The scene went back to Linwa and Jian, who arrived at the company where everyone gave Linwa a surprise welcome. But everyone was surprised too, because they hadn't expected Jian there. When he went to clean himself in the washroom, he got a call from someone who told him, I found out who was behind destroying this game. But he wanted to tell him in person. Coming outside, Jian told everyone, if everything is going well, in the next 3 days, we can do the alpha testing of this game again. But Linwa asked for a little more time. He gave her 1 week and left. But everyone got tense because even that time was less. So Linwa told them all, to celebrate yesterday's successful event, Jian has planned a dinner for everyone, which she would tell them after the work is done. They all got excited. Jian then went to meet his friend, who told him, the last time I saw those two together, I overheard their conversation. They were talking about the game, and I believe they are the culprits. He then showed him their photo. After this, Jian asked him to install CCTV cameras in Linwa's studio. After this, Jian called Young and told him, I've found the culprits. He called him to meet. When Young met him, Jian showed him the photo, saying Liang accidentally ran into them and even took their photo. In it, there was a man along with Uncle Hao and Chen. All of them are shareholders of Jian's company who have always been after bringing him down, so their suspicion of them became even stronger. Seeing this, Young relaxed a little because his friend David was not under suspicion, and the reporter at the event who had accused them of copying, he was also their man. Young asked, is it possible that they planted the virus? Jian had no evidence yet, but they had become his prime suspect. Jian then asked about the CCTV footage, and Young said, it got lost with me at the event. Jian didn't react to it and said, if they make any more moves, they will be thrown out. After Young left, Jian called and asked the chef to make a special dinner for two. We then see Jian at whose order a full romantic dinner for two had been prepared at home. Among the flowers, there was also a note from the caretaker, confess your feelings today. He said, who's going to confess feeling? Just then he heard Linwa's voice, and when he turned around, he was shocked because she had come with many others. Linwa asked him, how did you like our surprise of coming here? From just looking at him, it was very clear he was not at all happy about their arrival. He had arranged everything only for himself and Linwa. The poor man was now worried the food would run out. Just then Ding also arrived with his colleague. When he found out the food was less, he took the responsibility of cooking onto himself. Ding had made pizzas for everyone, but Jian was sitting far away from everyone in shock because his plan had completely failed. He then showed him their photo. After this, Jian asked him to install CCTV cameras in Linhua's studio.